Welcome, Kennesaw Happenings. We in the studio have a special guest who's come all the way from Cherokee County. So we don't often have Cherokee coming into our studio. We're at Overture, which is 55 and older, located right next to Academy Sports behind QT. So Dee spoke at the Cherokee
Cobb.
Cherokee Cobb
Niche group.
niche group. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Christian was the one that introduced me to it. So I met Dee and she was presenting from her heart in front of the room. And I said, Dee, you got to get on my podcast. So I twisted her arm. I promised her a lot of things, but she's here. Thank you, Dee. Tell our viewers who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
Oh, thanks, Pete. I appreciate you having me on. My name's Gale, and I work for Cherokee County Senior Services. I'm the resource coordinator, and so I serve the seniors in Cherokee County.
Well, okay. So I love just the sound of it. So how long have you been serving seniors in Cherokee County?
Well, I was volunteering for an organization called Stand Up for Seniors prior to 2016. And then Senior Services created a resource coordinator position. And at that time, I was looking for work because my son didn't no longer really need me. He was 16. And, once they're driving, it's kind of like, see you later, mom, So I was just looking for something and that came along. And I reached out to the director there and got hired.
Awesome. So why seniors? I mean, that's we don't often find people gravitating towards our seniors like we think they should. But why was it that you have tell our viewers, like, in your position, what's that connection? What do you have when you wake up in the morning and you're looking to go to work? Why do you like helping seniors?
Pete, I think a lot has to do with, I just feel like it's a generation that we always think they have it figured out. They've lived their life. And I think that we tend to forget about them. We're always thinking about the kids. I have, passion for kids too. But I just feel like, hey, why are we forgetting about a generation that has done so much for us, paved the way in a lot of ways? And hey, I'm a senior now. You're probably a senior.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so why should we be forgotten about, right, Pete? I mean, why should we be forgotten about? So I just have a heart for that. I just don't feel like, especially the low income seniors, they've worked hard. They shouldn't have to feel the burden of our economy. They shouldn't have to feel like they've got to struggle so hard at the end of their life. They should be enjoying the end of their life. They should be having a good time at the end of their life, and have the capability of doing things and not feeling like, I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent. I don't know how I'm going to, buy my groceries. So that's why I think it matters.
It does. And so I want you to talk to our viewers, like, because out of sight, out of mind is always that resonates in anything. So you're front and center with seniors. What would you like our viewers to kind of understand, that you're on the front line of the needs of seniors? What would you want our viewers to kind of grasp, even though they're not living it like you are?
Well, I think a lot of people don't know or understand that there's low income seniors out there. They worked hard, or maybe they were married once and they were the stay-at-home mom, and their Social Security isn't that much. Their hourly wage was a lot less than it is today. So that makes a difference on what their income for their Social Security is. And so we serve this low income seniors of Cherokee County. Stand Up for Seniors is the nonprofit I'm with. We've been around for 24 years, trying to help with financial assistance, whether it be rent, could be utilities. We recently had to help someone with their diabetes medicine, just because, again, they're stretched so thin with the way our economy is right now. I get that all landlords want to have their fair share of the market, but they're really raising rents and pushing people out of their homes. And so they're living in cars, they're coming to us and needing assistance to stay in motels because they're freezing, quite frankly. And so it makes it really hard. And we try to help if they can stay in their homes. We try to help with home repairs. Sometimes, a hot water heater goes out and they're already just being able to afford, their current bills. So any little hiccup, any little repair can cause a big strain for them to figure out how to do it.
Right.
And so we will help with that. We'll try to assist with that. It could be a wheelchair ramp. We've built a lot of those over time. So anything that can kind of keep them in their home is what we try to do. But right now we see a lot of them being forced out of their homes just because they cannot afford to stay where they're at. And so they might be living in their cars. Again, they're cold, so we're putting them in motels. And motels aren't a permanent fix.
Right.
So I can't stress enough that the need for affordable housing for low-income seniors is huge right now.
And we're part of a very giving community, and I think there's givers and takers in life.
Yeah,
and we want to embrace the givers because they tend to think about things like this. And I think that understand just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. So what do you do to draw awareness to the needs in Cherokee County? What has worked for you and what would you like to see improved?
Well, I try to share the stories as much as I can with people, which sometimes helps because then people hear the message, they make donations. We get several people that just on a yearly basis at the end of the year might, send in a check. We do monthly luncheons in Cherokee County at different assisted living facilities. They host it, and then the $10 lunch comes directly back to us. Anybody can come. It's open to anybody. It also helps those facilities, and they get to do tours. People get to learn about those. We do an annual golf tournament every year. It's at Bridgemill, right?
I know that course.
We love it. It's been a huge success. And then we do, just this year, we're starting a derby event. That's May 2nd. That'll be at the Timbers at the Mill there in Canton. And so really any grants, we'll try to write grants to help us. Anything we can think of. It's really been always kind of a fundraising organization so that we can continue our mission and help low-income seniors of Cherokee County.
Yeah, and in your position, you see it firsthand. And so when you're, in another part of the county, you're not necessarily touched by the stories because it's not reported in the papers or it's not necessarily talked about out there, but what's happening. So you kind of have your ear to the ground. I want to go back to what you said about having luncheons at facilities. How long have you been doing that? And give us a little bit more about that, because that's all we do is senior living. So we do touch a lot of different facilities. So in that capacity, what does a person need to do? Contact you and want to do a lunch? Talk to our viewers about that.
Well, we have a great volunteer named Mary Mendez. She's fantastic. She's been with the organization longer than I have.
Mhm.
And she reaches out to the different assisted living facilities each year, and then they pick a month that they would like to do. They provide the luncheon. It could be a box luncheon. Some facilities will order out Chick-fil-A and have the Chick-fil-A box luncheons. Sometimes it's a facility that the chef wants to cook and provide the meal. And then anybody that, RSVPs and, we do have some walk-ins, but it's great if you can RSVP. I think a lot of people forget what that means, and that when you do let them know you're coming, it allows the facility to make sure they have enough plates. If they order Chick-fil-A out, you want to make sure that there's enough Chick-fil-A ordered. So that's why the RSVP is important. And then you get to come spend $10, as it's hard to go have lunch lately anymore for less than $10.
Right.
And so, you get to have it. And then, network. You can meet other people, learn what they do. It's a good time. So we do that always the third Friday of every month. And we do have a calendar, actually, which is interesting. We've never had a facility in Cobb reach out to us. And so this month, or March, I should say, I guess February's almost over, hard to believe, but March, it will be at a Cobb facility.
Well, I happen to live at a Cobb facility. I wonder if there's a match there that could, what do they call it? A match made in heaven type thing?
Yeah.
It's an overused term, but I do think I always kind of like to listen for things that I think we can provide some value. And I met Bonnie next door. She's behind us. She's in a memory care, but Gaines Park is literally a bridge away from us, which, as you know, in the 55 active, there's different stages that a person will go through in life. And so needing more assistance, they have to go to a different place. And sometimes these big places have all in one place, but sometimes the smaller locations, you have to go from one location to another. So when Bonnie came on last week and educated our viewers on, wow, everything that they provide there, and that's the next stage for a lot of people. So where I'm going with this is, one, I'd like to talk to Josette about Overture being your March lunch, and we'll do something to help facilitate that, because we want to bring attention. Bartina actually does Cobb. Let me think. Seniors. No, wait. What's it called, Bartina?
That's Senior Smiles.
Senior Smiles. So they provide lunches and meals for the lower income opportunities out there within different apartment complexes and things like that.
That's cool.
So it's kind of marrying things together and kind of bringing, and what we can do here is, when you have a facility, and I totally believe in your RSVP, because I've come from the restaurant business. If you don't know how many meals to provide, you're guessing. And if you guess wrong, you got either not enough or too many. And we've had too many here. And we just finished eating all the Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
Yeah.
Because I like Chick-fil-A, but I don't like 20 sandwiches.
Exactly.
Because we thought the people would be there and they weren't. So we had plenty of leftover Chick-fil-A box lunches. So so I say that to say this is, in today's society, it's noisy out there. People are busy, but there's a giving community out there. If they knew how to serve and help you, I think you'd find that they would come and help. So one, let's do a thing to promote your lunches on a monthly basis. So we are even, Bonnie back of us, we're even going to podcast from her location to do what you just said. people have to see a facility to appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you don't go inside a facility, it's just a name on the billboard, not a billboard, name on the sign out front. Until you get in and see and have somebody walk you around and show you all the different things, you have no idea what a facility has to offer. So I love that idea. Why don't you tell our viewers too, you have a gala coming up.
Mhm.
And so what is the premise behind that?
Well, it's a derby gala. It's the first time we've done a derby event. We're excited about it. We're going to have several Cherokee residents who are going to have put out there and promote to vote for their horse, because in a derby, a horse wins.
Yep.
A lot of events we see have kings and queens that you vote on for the king or queen to win the event. And we thought, well, let's promote them, and they get to name their own horse, promote their own horse. So we're working on that right now, getting all their bios together so that they can go ahead and start promoting that. And it is May 2nd. At the Timbers from 6 to 9. We're going to have Band X, which is a very popular band people like to hear. So they're going to come and perform, and there will be dinner and cocktails, and there will probably be a charcuterie board set up. So we're really excited about it. We're excited about the whole another way to help raise money for our seniors.
Right.
Because honestly, the need is there. Our information and assistance girls at Senior Services, they're taking on an average of 40 calls a day. It's not always for that, but a good portion of it is. And the applications that are, coming through right now is a lot. And probably, I'm just off the top of my head, Pete, here.
Yeah.
But I'd say we've probably spent already, and it's only end of February, around 60,000, helping seniors, just be in motels and help with utilities, help with home repairs. It's been a lot. So the need is there. And again, my goal is to hopefully make it less for them to be in motels and have more options to live in something affordable, because I feel like, Pete, we all deserve a place to call home.
Yep.
And I don't think it should be our car.
No, cars are not designed for homes, to be homes, even though we have tiny homes that are popping up, but that's a totally different concept. Right. And I think, if I can say something, being a good promoter is a good thing, because you're letting people know what the needs are out there. I'm sure you drive down the road and you drive by this restaurant 100 times, and then somebody tells you about a restaurant, and now you see the restaurant, because if you're not aware of something, the mind doesn't drive the attention to it. I forget, it's called something, but that's what I want you to share with our viewers, is really how we can come alongside you to help you provide the funds, because what's happening in Cherokee. The needs are out there. Our viewers aren't always like, they're working, they're doing their busy thing, so they don't know what it is. So that's good. We'll put in the show notes a link to the gala and how people can support it and be a part of that, and the date and everything. Tell us, because I used to be golfer, Pete. So golf, whenever somebody mentions the word golf, it kind of perks a little. Right. Yeah, my golfers are generous people. So tell us about your golfing event that's coming up.
Well, and Pete, I'm trying to get back into golfing too. It's been a hot minute since I've golfed. So I've got my clubs out, kind of dusting them off. But
that's what we all do.
This will be our 9th annual golf tournament. Really? It's at Bridge Mill. Last year was the first year at Bridge Mill, and happy to say it was a great success. It's always been a good success, but it's just growing. I've usually always got a full course. But that is a huge way to come out, have fun, do something that you love to do. And the whole time you're doing it, you're supporting seniors in your community. So a lot of times that's how I look at, events that you attend. It's not necessarily that if you're already going to lunch, go to a monthly luncheon. You know what I mean? If you like to have fun in golf, go ahead and go play. Support, and because you're having fun doing something you love to do.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you're benefiting some residents in your own community. And we get people from Atlanta that come and play in our tournament.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I get excited about that others can see our mission, and just come out and do something that they love to do. And the whole time they're giving back. So that one is October 2nd.
Okay.
That will be at Bridge Mill. And that's off of 575, exit 11. You just go left and you're going to run straight into Bridge Mill. So,
well, that's important to give us some time to promote it. And because for my golfing buddies, they always would say, I get a chance to play a course I haven't played or I've heard about. And so they get a group together and they hang out, community. And I want you to comment on this after we finish. After I'm just talking about this, is they get their golfing buddies together. So they get a chance to get together. Maybe they're at different places. They play at different courses, but a charity golf tournament gives you a way to get together with your friends, visit a golf course you may not be able to get on or be a part of, and have some fun. And the end result is you're going to spend money on golf anyway.
Exactly.
Why not spend it in an area that has a cause like the seniors in Cherokee County that are going to benefit by your dollars coming into that fun event that you're going to play golf, have fun with community, and enjoy yourselves with your buddies. So I want you to talk just from a personal thing. How important do you see in your work the word community? I mean, what does that mean to you?
I feel like community should mean everybody is helping out in some area. I mean, it could be helping children. Of course, my passion is going to be seniors. But I think everybody should look at what are they doing to help out, because I think I told you this the other day, Pete, I can come home and my husband's all wrapped up in the wars, in the world. And I always say to him, you know what? I can't focus on that. We elect leaders to do their job. Hopefully they're doing their job. And if they are, then they should take care of that. But I'm working on the leaders in our city, in our county, to help fight the wars in our own community.
Right.
Because everything can look pretty in your community. Everything can look pretty in your county, but there's always a lot going on behind the scenes. And so, whether it's our veterans that are homeless, there are senior veterans that are homeless that we try to help, or just our seniors in general. I mean, they matter. They're a part of our community. And I just feel like we should be doing something better. So community to me is everybody thinking about what am I doing, not just living in. COVID was a hard hit because that really drew people back into their homes and not thinking to get back out. And so it's been harder to get people to want to get out and to do more things. I just think, why would you not? Why would you not? I mean, these could one day be you,
Yes.
Hopefully you want, we're going to be there to help you if it's you. It could be your parents. I'm saying this to all your listeners. This could be your parents that need the help. Maybe you can't necessarily help them because of your financial situation, but come to us. Maybe we can help. If they live in Cherokee County, we have an application process, they fit the guidelines, then great. We're more than willing and happy to help them. But I just, again, back to community, Pete, I think everybody needs to think about what are they doing. And one of the things I feel you're doing for your community is podcasting, and you're
Mhm.
helping all of us get the message out there so that others can learn about us.
Yes, it's education, and
Mhm.
seniors matter. We've heard all kinds of things that off of that, but you really, when you get down to it, a senior has lived in the community
Yeah.
all their life, or they moved into the community from be with their grandkids, or whatever the reason is. They're part of the community. And we have stages in life. And I think the precious stage is like those last, we call it the fourth quarter or the overtime of life.
Mhm.
And that's when you're celebrating things. And there's some people that aren't celebrating like others. But to your point about giving, is there's nothing better when serving and giving, because it warms your heart when you take resources that you're going to go to lunch every day.
Yeah.
So why not? And Chick-fil-A does quite well.
Yeah.
You just look at their drive-through.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to be, and they give like crazy. They have that heart. But what I'm saying is, if you can divert some of your funds, you're going to spend it anyway.
Right.
Spend it in an area that's going to impact people in your community, that are the seniors that have been a part of your community, that are now looking for ways that they've given their life to serving in that community. Now it's kind of like our younger generation. Hey, look what you can do to really honor seniors. And I love that you've phrased that way. So tell our viewers, like, with the Cherokee Center, what kind of services are you providing to our seniors at your center? Are there things that you're doing on a regular basis?
Sure. So Senior Services in Cherokee County, we have an activity center. So every day from 8 to 2, we have seniors that come in. CATS, our transportation system, either drives them in, and some can drive on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll come in, have bingo, card games. Sometimes there's speakers that will come in and talk to them about something and that they might need to know for the senior community. And then we've got case managers that are in our building. They manage, between the four of them, they manage around 300 clients.
Mm-hmm.
Those clients come down through the Atlanta Regional Commission,
Mm-hmm.
because, again, Senior Services basically funded majority-wise through federal dollars, the Older American Act.
Mm-hmm.
And so those case managers will then find out their needs. They might need to have some homemaker services. So we have homemakers that go in and do like housekeeping. We have Meals on Wheels that's out of our building.
Mm-hmm.
They might find out from their client that they need some food. So then Meals on Wheels will deliver that through their schedule and their volunteers. And then we also have the Silver Roamers. They're an active adults who roam Georgia. So they will go to plays maybe down in Atlanta. They might go to Callaway Gardens. They go to a lot of different museums throughout the state of Georgia. Wayne has them pretty active. There's over 300 members. They currently have a wait list, because you can only manage so many, right?
Yeah, no, I mean,
so
and knowing what you just said is the wait list can be shortened with additional transportation, additional resources. But go ahead.
yes, absolutely. So that's another thing we're trying to work on in our county, is get more transportation. Our county has grown so rapidly that's one area that I think the county is trying to address, is work on our transportation system a little bit. But so that's kind of wraps it up a little bit. Again, we have our INA department. They, like I said, they average about 40 calls a day with seniors calling in. They could just be calling in wanting Medicare information. So we have people that they, give them those resources for. So I always say to people, when I'm talking to groups and they might be in the business of senior industry, whether it be Medicare, whether it be assisted livings, whether it be at home health care, anything that a senior might need to call in about, or it could be the children of the senior. A lot of times we have the children calling in and going, hey, my mom needs this, my dad needs this. Where do I go? So I always tell people, if you want our center and our INA girls to know who you are and what your business is, please stop in, say hi to Sydney, say hi to Chrissy, let them know about you so that, when someone does call, they can give, your resource information out to them.
Absolutely. That's we appreciate you sharing that. So I want to be respectful of your time. And so how can people get a hold of you, and what would be the contact information that people would be able to do to either want to contribute, be a part of the gala or the golf tournament? Could you give us a little information?
Well, probably the easiest way would be to email me, or they can call me. My phone number is 678-230-4067. And my email is the letter D, the letter L, GALE @CherokeeGA.com. Or you can also go to our website for our Stand Up for Seniors. You could type it, Google Stand Up for Seniors, but it's also vac-cherokeega.org. Because we used to be, and we still are, Volunteer Aging Council, but in 2020, we rebranded and we changed and try to go by Stand Up for Seniors. Just because we feel like we do more is stand up for seniors. Because people used to say to me, Volunteer Aging Council, do you volunteer to age? So I was like, maybe we need to change that a little bit.
Yeah.
So
no, it really is simple for our viewers to really understand. And it is a matter of taking a stand for seniors. You want,
Absolutely.
because we have a lot of needs out there, but our seniors are special in that they have done the things in this county, and giving back to a person that has served in this county is so important, because it's just, we are in kind of a crazy time of needs for this, and this, and we just want to talk to you about that and how you can serve and provide help to a group of people that certainly have, I'm not going to say everybody deserves everything, but they certainly have served in a capacity that it can come full circle back to them.
Absolutely.
Cool.
And it's not about giving a handout. It's about a handout.
Yes. I love
everybody deserves a place to call home. It shouldn't be their car. And again, you shouldn't have to grow up in a community and live in it, and then all of a sudden at your elderly age feel like you can't live there anymore.
Yes.
I mean, I had a story once where someone in their 60s, late 60s, had to literally go live with family in Indiana. And why should she have left? Or she had to, because she couldn't afford it anymore, her rent. And why should somebody who's lived here, this is her backyard, have to move and go to somewhere that they're just not familiar with at that time in their life? I mean, anyway,
I agree. My mom's 94 and lives on her own.
Oh my gosh.
And so, now we have 3 kids up there. It's not right here. It's in Richmond. But one of my sisters is a nurse, and that's her favorite, because she's a nurse.
Okay, she's a nurse.
Yeah. And it's just like, not the kids, not the parents have favorites, but when you all of a sudden get later in life, you like a daughter that's a nurse. It's just, I was just talking to her Saturday. She was gone for a week, and she was, I can't wait for Cal to get back. And it's understandable, because she's a bridge, a bunco, a lunch. She's done all these activities, but at 94, you're outliving your friends.
Yes.
So plugging into an environment that allows those friends to start, at whatever age it is. So I imagine at the senior center, they're developing new friendships.
Absolutely.
You maybe outlived your friends, but you can make new friends, which is kind
Well,
of cool.
that's so true, Pete, because during COVID, we saw some of our clients that because we couldn't have them in to do activities, and we lost some of our clients because they didn't have that community to be with. They didn't get to interact. They didn't get to talk to their friends. And it was sad.
It was a tough
and we miss
time.
a lot of those that we've lost then. And it wasn't due to COVID. It was just due to them being homebound, couldn't get out, couldn't interact. And it's so important because I think all of us at all ages, you need to have community and you need to be around people. You need to talk with people. Isolation does not work for the elderly population. It'll age you rapidly. And I think everybody deserves to be able to get out and have a little fun with their friends.
Absolutely. You almost answered the question I'm going to ask you, but I would, if I don't ask this, then I would break a trend. So I'm still going to ask it. What would you want our viewers, one thing you would want our viewers to take home from our time on this podcast?
Most importantly, I would want to say, think about your senior population. Whether, again, because you should have parents. If you don't, I'm sure you miss them. Then think about, them. What do they need? How can I help? And just, it could be anything little. It could be a donation to your senior center for Depends. A lot of people come to us and need something like Depends. Just dropping off a donation, that little bit makes a difference for the seniors in your community. So, I will say it till I probably in the ground myself, but I truly feel like we cannot forget about a generation that came before us.
Totally. Well said. Dee, thank you so much for being a guest. And we want you to come back.
You.
I mean, I know it's crossing county lines to come over here.
It's okay.
But you know how to get here now. So there's no excuse like, I don't know where you're located. And we'll do some more because I want to raise the awareness level of how our community can serve and help in your efforts out there.
Absolutely. Because if I have a quick minute here,
yes,
Pete,
you do.
I just want everybody to be aware that, with the national data that's out there, in 6 years, and you know how fast a year could go, bless you, Pete. But in 6 years, the senior population will outnumber the national the general population for the first time ever in a national setting ever. So my thing is if we're not addressing the needs, right now,
I got
then how bad is it going to be in 6 years?
Yeah.
And again, you blink, a year's over. So,
yes.
Anyway.
Well, let's anticipate, be a little proactive and help out Dee and our senior. Well, I got another sneeze.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Dee. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
Okay.